Tesla suddenly accelerates into BC Ferries ramp, breaks into. Another day, another Tesla crashes story. Guess what, guys? The more Teslas that are out there, the more Teslas that are going to crash. For a variety of reasons. West Vancouver Police Department is investigating the cause of a one-vehicle crash at a Horseshoe Bay ferry ramp that took 2 people to hospital. Wow. Imagine it just hit the ramp straight. Just boom, just like in the movies. Pretty wild. West Vancouver police investigating sudden acceleration. These things accelerate fast, Will. Even you know. It's just instant, no big noise or nothing, and you are just... And then they talk about the Roadster. They're like, we're going to do a Roadster, and it's taking a long time, and we have other priorities, but just know it's going to blow the Plaid Model S out of the water. It's like, what? What are we doing? What? Yeah. What? That thing is already so violent in Plaid mode. It is violence on the road. And by the way, I'm not complaining personally, but you try to imagine, like, you gotta be engaged. And you imagine if they get that Roadster down to like 1.5 seconds or something, you best be engaged. Get yourself involved in a weapon on wheels like that. That is violent acceleration. Anyway, I'm not suggesting that that's what this one, but they all get up to speed, I'll tell you what. Sergeant Mark McLean, a spokesperson for West Vancouver Police Department, told Glacier Media the driver and passenger were both taken to a hospital, non-life-threatening injuries, thank goodness. It looks like it was trying to board a ferry and suddenly accelerated into the gate, basically destroying the Tesla. Is this one of those one-pedal driving? You know how I'm so critical of one-pedal driving? Your foot is always hovering the accelerator. And everybody's like, I got used to it and this and that. And it's like, look, man, people can adjust and adapt and they should. But in the current modern world, you have a lot of people transitioning from traditional vehicles. And they may have had a Tesla for a week or a month or whatever. But that foot hovering, just resting over top that accelerator compared to where it would be on a gas-powered vehicle.
Sure.
Over top the brake. It's a split-second difference. By the way, I'm not justifying it at all. I am not yet to put my Tesla through a gate myself, nor are you. But I'm just saying, you do all the math on this stuff. And other automakers have taken a slightly different approach to one pedal. Tesla's been the most aggressive. And you kept saying to me, well, why don't you go tone it down in your settings? Guess what? You have it in your settings. I don't really have it in mine because in the Plaid model, there's different rules.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, you can't really disable that.
You need that heavy regen. Anyway, don't get me started on it. It doesn't appear alcohol was involved. It's another thing they said. We don't know what caused it to happen. Police are initially looking at either a mechanical issue or a matter concerning the driver, which may have caused sudden acceleration.
I feel like we need to do investigation on this particular one.
Call them up? Is that what you mean?
Because we always hear about these stories, but then we don't know the result, whether it's a software issue or a driver issue.
Well, let me tell you this. This is an important thing to put out there to the world because obviously Tesla takes all the attention, as it should, because it's on the fringe and the most exciting. But there have been sudden acceleration occurrences with gas-powered vehicles in the past as well, right? There's been extremely publicized cases in the past of unknown sudden acceleration. They've done extensive research into it, and then they'd be like, you know what, most of the time it's user error. And a lot of the time it's a driver in an unfamiliar car who just makes a short mishap, and it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
You'll see, I was over at the breakfast spot, it was maybe 6 months ago, and the glass is all shattered. And I go, what happened? And he says some driver mistook the accelerator, and they weren't in a Tesla, and they came straight through the glass instead of, or they forgot to put it in, they put it in drive instead of reverse. It's just like the simplest thing. Oftentimes, well, I don't know what the saying is for this, but oftentimes it's not the most exciting or conspiratorial, but it's actually the most boring and the most obvious thing that took place. So, by the way, it could be either. I don't want to cast, because I have such limited information right now. But this thing, and especially with the one pedal, you got to just put it all into consideration over here.
But this headline, though.
Suddenly accelerates. I know. Suddenly
Scary.
accelerates. It definitely
Also breaks into two.
Well, the headline seems to suggest that it did it on its own. And every time we see one of these headlines, it seems to suggest that it just happened on its own. It doesn't say driver suddenly accelerates. It says Tesla suddenly accelerates.
Yeah.
And so you understand how people can misconstrue that. But you know how it is in the Internet 23. People got to read and they click, and they don't click. You don't pay your bills. And like, listen, man, it's 2023. So the viewer, the reader, they got to go a little bit more depth. They got to look at it from 5 different angles. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's just how we got to train ourselves 2023.